The SBU special operation, Spiderweb, which has already become a legend, is a harbinger of Russia's defeat in the war. By the end of the year, aggression will have to be curtailed on very unfavorable terms. This opinion was expressed by Russian Z-blogger and propagandist Maxim Kalashnikov. He expressed admiration for the Ukrainian operation to eliminate Russian strategic aviation aircraft. The Russian Federation has fallen into the web of the special operation, Spiderweb. It's a fact. We see that we are facing a special operation that will really make it into textbooks. It was carried out very skillfully. This is both a blow to the military structure, to our combat capability, and a moral and political blow. A sensitive blow, very sensitive. And most importantly, it is a very strong blow to the authority of our government, special services, counterintelligence. The blow was first-rate. As a result of the Spiderweb operation, the prospect of our defeat in the war has dawned. Yes, you heard right, Kalashnikov said. He stated that Russia is running out of time for aggression. We see another plan from the enemy, to take advantage of the weakness of the Russian Federation, to prolong military operations in order to wait until a very strong economic crisis breaks out in Russia at the end of 2025 with a drop in production, layoffs, an unpleasant operation with bank deposits, devaluation of the ruble, hyperinflation. Our government will face the fact that it can no longer conduct military operations. A collapse will begin in the rear, as in 1917. Russia will be forced to agree to a truce on very bad terms. And for this they prepared Spiderweb, stated the Z-patriot. Recall, Z channels are in shock over the UAV raid on Russian Aerospace Forces airfields. Russian propagandist fighter bomber, who writes about aviation, advised Russians to prepare for difficult news. The drones were used from the shortest distance, it was impossible to remove the aircraft from the attack, as well as to use Panzers, S-300s, etc. against them. I think the attack was unexpected for the PPV squads with Jedi swords. So the news is unlikely to be good. Neither the tires, nor the planes drawn on the concrete, nor the Jedi swords, nor the PPVs every 100 meters saved the planes. It will later be called a black day for Russian long-range aviation. High-resolution satellite imagery of air bases deep inside Russia, taken before Ukraine carried out what's been described as the most audacious drone attack in military history, shows several Russian Air Force jets parked on the tarmac. These include strategic bombers, transport aircraft, and airborne warning aircraft. Ukraine, under its Operation Spiderweb, targeted 5 Russian air bases after infiltrating its territory. Some of these bases are located hundreds of kilometers inside Russia, while the farthest one is located some 8,000 kilometers from the Russia-Ukraine border. Satellite images also show how replicas of the military aircraft were also painted on the tarmac to give the illusion of an actual plane being parked there. These act as decoys in order to deter drone strikes. But these could not avert the Ukrainian drone attack, which was meticulously planned and flawlessly executed. John Ford, a research associate at the California-based James Martin Center for Nonproliferation Studies, said the images supplied by Capella Space, a satellite company, confirm Ukraine's achievement in destroying the fleet based in the Irkutsk region. The SAR images showed the remnants of at least 2 Tu-22 backfires, the same type of supersonic aircraft that have been used to bombard Ukraine. At least 4 strategic heavy Tu-95 bombers were also identified among the aircraft destroyed at the Belia airfield. The aircraft targeted in the attack were a mix of Tu-22 and Tu-95 bombers, both of which Russia has used to launch strikes against Ukraine. Images from the Ivanova Severny Air Base show Russia's advanced A-50 AWACS or airborne early warning aircraft. These are considered precious assets for any military. Russia, however, had already lost several of these aircraft during the years-long war in Ukraine. With only a limited number of these AWACS left, if the one seen in this picture were indeed hit, as Ukraine has claimed, Russia's Air Force would have reason to worry. At the Dyagilevo Air Base in Ryazan, satellite images show the aviation Il-78 tankers, which are a four-engined aerial refueling jet based on the Il-76 strategic airlifter. The photos show how decoys of the aircraft are painted on the tarmac to give the illusion of an actual jet. Facilities related to the supply of the occupying Russian army have been damaged in the temporarily occupied districts of Zaporizhia and Kherson regions. The spokesman for the Ukrainian Volunteer Army, Serhiy Brachik, said this on Espresso TV. Blackout is currently underway in the temporarily occupied Kherson and Zaporizhia regions. We are talking about several locations. In particular, these are the power supply facilities that ensured the operation of the Russian military infrastructure. We are talking about the city of Molokhansk, which is a temporarily occupied territory of the Zaporizhia region. We also have information about the Henichesk substation. In Melitopol, an arsenal with ammunition was hit. The damage Russia will be assessed in more detail later, noted Brachik. According to the Ukrainian Volunteer Army spokesperson, the Russian forces have recently become more active in the Zaporizhia sector, attempting to conduct assault operations. First of all these facilities that are currently without power supply are primarily military facilities. And secondly, I will try to say this in a veiled manner, as the reconnaissance is still ongoing, some enemy logistics related primarily to the Zaporizhia sector have been damaged. Logistics in the temporarily occupied territories is directly linked to the occupying Russian forces. This is a serious loss for them. We will be able to say how critical it is a little later, Brachik emphasized. Recently, Ukrainian Armed Forces Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrsky said that Russian forces have, significantly, increased their activity in the Zaporizhia direction and are conducting active offensive actions there. Russia has concentrated its main efforts on the Pokrovsk, Toretsk, Lyman, and Novopavlovsk directions, as well as border areas of Sumy Oblast with Russia, Syrsky said in his summary of armed forces activities for May 2025. The Zaporizhia sector in Ukraine refers to the area of active military operations within Zaporizhia Oblast, a strategically significant oblast in southeastern Ukraine where Russian and Ukrainian forces are engaged in intense fighting. This sector is crucial due to its industrial importance, proximity to the Sea of Azov, and the presence of Europe's largest nuclear power plant, with control of the area seen as vital for both Ukrainian defense and Russian military objectives.